Okay, so here is the project description for the lounge rehab. A couple quick facts about the project. The project champion is John Smith, who is an executive at ABC Companies. And then we have the project sponsor, who is Alexis Rose, who is a senior manager at ABC Companies. And then we have the project manager, Connor Steele. We have stakeholders, which is our interior designer, Taylor Convoy, ABC Inc., which is our sponsor, IKEA, which is an investor, and we have Connor Steele, who is the PM. Our expected start date is January 1st, 2023, and our expected completion date is March 1st, 2023. So in summary, the lounge rehab will be the complete renovation of ABC Company's lunchroom. A big focus is creating an eco-friendly environment in this space, and the project has a budget of $65,000 Canadian. So this is a quick look at some of the objectives of this project. One is to comply with safety regulations and standards. It is important that all the construction work and all the electrical work and such follows proper safety guidelines, as well as keeping the construction area free of any obstacles or all isolated in one area, leading into our next topic, because we need to maintain regular business activities during the project. So this means that all of our construction needs to be safe in order to continue with those regular business processes. We also need to stay within budget, which I mentioned was the $65,000 budget. This is very important, as well as staying within our project timeline between January 1st to March 1st. And lastly, it's important that we satisfy our stakeholders by tackling all of these four previous objectives. It's a good way to start with stakeholder satisfaction. And then it's important that we focus on the outcomes of the actual construction and renovation of the lunch space itself. So in terms of our expected benefits, a large component of the lounge rehab project is seeking a more eco-friendly lunch space for ABC Companies. So one area of focus will be the lighting. We will be changing all the light bulbs to eco-friendly bulbs in order to reduce our impact of light pollution and garbage in the environment. We will attempt to power our lunch space lights through solar power, which many workplaces, homes, and stores have found to be an effective replacement for electrical power. We will also be changing out the current appliances, such as the microwaves, fridges, and freezers, to environmentally friendly appliances. Creating a more eco-friendly lunch space for staff at ABC Companies is a great opportunity for green marketing for the company. ABC Companies will be able to highlight these changes in their annual sustainability reports. Excuse me. And they will be able to highlight these positive impacts in these reports moving forward. This will be helpful in creating a positive image in the public eye, as well as attracting new talent to the organization that place a strong value on sustainability in the workplace. Some of these changes may be expensive during the project and the initial purchases. However, utilizing solar power in the lunch space will have a huge return on investment and drastically decrease electricity bills for the company. During the lounge rehab, we will also be upgrading the power systems so that we can use more appliances at one time. This will increase employee satisfaction with the organization and also increase efficiency in employees' work. It will decrease wait times for staff and decrease percentage of staff that has to leave the office in order to purchase food because they don't want to wait around for the appliances to be freed up. Less staff leaving the office means more time spent on work, thus overall more efficiency. Another benefit of the lounge rehab is creating a better opportunity for relaxation for employees of ABC Companies. By giving employees a space where they can relax and have fun, it will make them feel better about their jobs and ultimately be more productive at work. And then we have the scope. So we will be doing a flooring replacement to a new hardwood floor. We'll be replacing all the appliances, as I had previously mentioned, to more environmentally friendly appliances. We'll be creating more seating area space, which means we'll also be getting new furniture to accommodate such space. We'll also be painting the lunch space, and the purpose of this is to paint to a lighter color in order to increase mood and boost happiness within that lunch space. We'll also be taking a look at the interior decor and making some changes with that. And then we will also be making lighting changes to our light bulbs, as we had previously mentioned.
Thank you, Nicole. Hello, my name is Matthew Coe, and I'm going to be talking about the goals and the vision of our project communication plan. So the purpose of our communication plan is to make sure that all stakeholders are aware that everything is going on, to give them opportunities to provide feedback, as well as making sure that we're aligning to their goals, whether it's on the deadline or their overall vision for this project. So we want to get that input and make sure we are constantly meeting their expectations. So we have some specific requirements for our project communication plan, which is we're going to give them updates on our budget. So we're going to make sure that either we're above or under, or what is our future expectation to make sure we're on plan for our budget. As well, we're going to make sure we give them updates on project completion percentage. So we're going to let them know exactly how far along we are with the project, as well as if we're going to meet expectations for the timeline. As well, we're going to talk about any risks that we've encountered, whether it's for now or risks that we expect to see in the future. These could be risks such as legal, community awareness goals, making sure everything that we're doing is environmentally friendly, or any safety risks that might come up for our employees. As well as part of our goal of being transparency, we want to make sure that we're providing stakeholders with all positive and negative things that have happened that have happened already or again in the future. So we want to make sure that they know anything wrong that happened so that they can help us correct those issues or provide us solutions in the future. As well, we're going to talk about staffing updates. So that is new employees that might have left, or just overall team feedback, how we're getting along, how we're getting things done, because it's very important to us not only what we get done, but also how we get things done as a team. So our goals of the communication plan are we're going to reduce requests for project updates. So we want all users to attend these meetings, all stakeholders. So the goal of that is we don't want stakeholders to be coming to us all the time asking for project updates. We want to make sure we do this on a bi-weekly cadence once so that all stakeholders are there, they've received their update. Our secondary goal, as I've talked about, is to increase visibility into our project. We're going to include all positive and negatives. As well, our goal is to make sure we get feedback from stakeholders. So we want to make sure we create a space of psychological safety where stakeholders feel free that they can talk about, they can ask questions or they can give honest feedback, just a safe space for all stakeholders to provide their input. So, and lastly, again, we're going to check that our project is aligning with project goals. As well, we want to make sure that the goals haven't shifted throughout a project. Stakeholders might have different ideas or the company culture might have changed. So we want to make sure we are aligning with not only our project goals, but the company goals. So our communication method will be through Microsoft Teams, as we have some employees who can't make it into the office all the days, or we might have some employees who are working overseas. So we want to make sure that we'll be doing these meetings virtually. As well as part of our communication method, we want to make sure all documentation is written in a central location. So ideally SharePoint, we want to make sure that we have saved our current project budget, our completion rate, risks, and all the stuff that teams have been working on. It's also a place, it's good for our internal team, so they can go in there and they can get, status updates of members on their team. What are they doing? In a place where they can grab feedback as well. So for frequency, we're going to have bi-weekly release meetings. So every 2 weeks, we're going to talk about everything that we have completed, status updates, and our plans for the future. Lastly, the communication leads, the people who will be in charge of this communication plan is going to be our project manager, as well as our Scrum Master is going to help us facilitate these meetings. And for our target audience, we're just going to make sure that we include all target stakeholders, and we're going to make sure we look at stakeholders constantly throughout this project to make sure that we're not including stakeholders who no longer have a vested interest in our project. And that's it for me. I will pass it on to my next team member. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Junai Fechipede Valentine. Thank you, Matthew. for your time. Thank you all team members for your time. It's well appreciated. I'm here to talk about the project communication for this project. And the project information about this project is creating sorry, we'll have to cut that back again. I've drafted it down, but I'm just trying to put it together, right?
Not a problem, man. No
Okay.
worries.
Sorry, I'm taking you guys' time.
Oh no, it's okay. You can also
Okay.
like what I did is I just like covered everyone's faces from the screen so I don't watch you guys watching me. It's way easier. If
It
you can
is,
just
it is,
if
yeah.
you cover that part, it's way easier. You think you're just
Okay.
recording yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna go off. Hello, good morning. My name is Chidna Ifechukade Valentine. Thank you, Machi, for your time. Thank you all team members for your time. I'll be talking about the project communication plan, and I'll be kicking off with the project information. And the project information for this project is exchanging and fixing a rehab and renovating a rehab of doing a rehab for the lounge of ABC, and this would include exchanging the old equipment with new ones and adding sufficient spaces for employees to relax during their breaks and downtime. And part of the project info will be we'll be discussing about the quality control assurance records and then files of project correspondence and memorandum, the construction approval and the logs, legal contracts and regulation documents. This will be discussed with through team meetings, conference calls, project team, and the audience will be actually project teams and stakeholders. And this discussion will be kicked off at the beginning of the project. And then again, we'll talk about the status of the report. And the status of the report will be where we describe the progress of the project within every specific time and period of this project. And this will be disclosed, this delivery method will be discussed via email and then team meetings also. And we'll be doing this on a weekly basis. And our audience will be the project team and the stakeholders. And then again, we'll be talking about the tax progress. And here we'll be discussing about the relevant action and the schedule. And for the schedule, we'll be talking about all the renovation processes from the start to the finish, where we've reached and where we have achieved at the meetings at every required time. And then we'll also talk about the budget. We would try to make sure we don't exceed the budget and we're keeping to the expected budgets of the sponsors and the stakeholders. And then we'll also be talking about the current or anticipated issues that might arise. We'll identify all the issues, current and future challenges, and see how we're going to tackle it. And then we'll also talk about the quality and the scope of all the issues. A method of this communication will be virtual meetings via Teams, audience, and then the audience will be the project team and also the stakeholders. And these meetings will be conducted on a bi-weekly timing, which will be every 2 weeks. And then we'll also look at the reviews. In this part of the section, we'll be where we'll gather all the feedbacks on the things that went well, as well as what could be improved for the future projects. This would involve conversations about the processes and tools and the way responsibilities of every team members or the responsibilities of every team members and what they've been assigned to do and they're keeping up to it. And method of these meetings will be actually virtual meetings, through virtual meetings, and then also email. All the meetings will be recorded and be sent via the minutes to every team members. And our audience for this meeting will actually be the project team and also the stakeholders. And then the frequency of these meetings will be done at every specific time, at every specific milestones. At this point, this is where for every step that is achieved, we'll call a meeting and we'll give ourselves an update of all the level of achievement we'll achieve at a certain time. And then we'll also be talking about the project risk. And then in this project risk, we'll be talking about the financial risks involved in this project in terms of monetary wise, and then the strategic way of how we're going to resolve it. And then we'll also talk about the performance. Here we'll be talking about how each and every team member is performing towards their roles and activities of this project. And then part of the method of this meeting will be done virtual meet. It will be strictly virtual meetings, and then via Teams or any other available app required for these meetings. And then the audience will actually be the project team, stakeholders, and sponsors, and the frequency will be as often as is needed. That is, for every time we identify any risk, we'll call a meeting, and then we hold this meeting as regards this process. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Valentine. And stakeholders, I just wanted to also add that the daily meetings are going to be Scrum meetings. So we're going to have 15-minute Scrum meetings every day. So a Scrum meeting is just a meeting where each team talks about their previous day, what went well, what they finished, and they're also going to talk about what they're going to do for the day as well. They're going to talk about any roadblocks that they might have had. So this is just a spot for our team to come together and really just let everybody know on the team, what are they doing, what they get done, and again, those roadblocks that might have happened, and we're going to try as a team to try and get past those roadblocks together. So these meetings will be held daily, and they are optional for stakeholders. So it's really for our internal team, but we also want stakeholders, if they want to come in there and listen to what's getting done, you're more than welcome to. So again, awesome. Thank you, Valentine, and I'll pass it off there.
Thank you, Valentine, for that wonderful project communication plan. I would like to thank all the stakeholders for taking the time to come out today. And to introduce myself, my name is Mayan Sriranganathan, and I'm going to be talking about the different ways in which a project communication plan can help benefit a project and the problems that can arise if you had an incomplete one or you didn't have one at all. A project communication plan is an extremely crucial part of a project. Communication is a very important aspect of a project's overall success. With the right communication, there is better cooperation and collaboration amongst the team members and everyone that is part of the project. When there is good communication amongst each individual involved, it allows everyone on the team to be more efficient in the work that they do. When a team fails to communicate with each other, there are many consequences that can arise, such as the project goes over the expected budget, there's a delay in the project, there's a decrease in productivity, reduce customer satisfaction, or in certain circumstances, it can even be deadly or dangerous. Whether you're working on a major or minor project, there cannot be any margin for error when you're executing a project. Project communication plan communicates critical project information to everyone involved in the project, such as the clients, project managers, project coordinators, and the team members. There are many benefits that you get from a completed project communication plan. Some of the benefits are that there's a clear communication, you are organized, and you're able to see who's responsible for which objective. The main benefit is that you're able to stay organized. When you're organized, it gives you a clear focus on the objective and what needs to be completed. The team members know exactly what needs to be done and who's in charge of that objective. You can see who's responsible for each objective and update them when needed, and they communicate with them if you also need to do that. So I really like the transparency. I think transparency is great. It shows everyone the full scope of the project. Transparency allows everyone to communicate freely, provide feedback and constructive criticism, and solve problems that arise, and build relationships and networks with each other. Another benefit to transparency is that you're able to be more innovative, and you can share ideas with each other and think of new ways to get things done that you wouldn't have before. Lastly, with transparency, you're able to see who's in charge of which objective, so everyone is able to take responsibility if something needs to get changed or fixed. On the project communication plan, you can track the progression of the project. You have a continuous oversight of everything that is going on. You're able to see how much of the budget you have used and the duration that has elapsed, and you're able to see if you're still on track of completing your project on time or if you need an extension. Another great benefit is that if you need help, you're able to ask for feedback, and anyone who's a part of the project communication plan can assist you. I'll be passing it on to my coworker, Nicole, to continue on this topic.
All right, my name's Nicole, and I'm going to be expanding on what my coworker was just talking about and how a communication plan will help alleviate any issues and what we chose specifically in our plan to help us make sure our project goes smoothly. So for the first one is the project information for our communication goals. And if we are missing that or it's incomplete in our plan, it could cause major issues just even at the start of our project. So with that, there will be no meetings with the team, which can cause confusion and no one understands what's going on. Stakeholders are not knowing what the project entails and how it benefits them and what we're doing for them. And it can just overall cause a lot of confusion. So this communication plan and this project information goal we have in place will alleviate any questions and ensures everyone is on the same page. It allows for collaboration and for the team and stakeholders to understand what the project is, and we can meet whenever or as needed if someone requests to allow for clarification on anything throughout the project. And so for the second one, for the status report for our communication goal in our plan, and if these were missing or incomplete, it could also cause issues throughout the entire project as well. So people would have, no concept to know if we're behind or ahead of schedule with our team or the stakeholders, unsure what's being renovated next or who needs to be on site soon or what contractor should be up next to do their part. And no clarification if any delays or issues have arisen, which could cause an issue and snowball down later in the road. So this status report can help with those bi-weekly meetings and help the team stay on track, and everyone is aware of the project up to date. And then stakeholders are also involved so that they know where the project is at in terms of the phases and the schedule. And it allows for any issues to be resolved quickly if needed and catching them before it gets too late and can cause budget issues and scheduling delays. Then for our third one, so we have the task progress update is what we decided to add into our plan. And for this one, it's important because the project manager is the main person who does daily check-ins. So it's very important to have for a project that uses project management. So without these daily check-ins, this could cause a lot of problems. Like the team is unsure if they're on schedule. They're not aware if any supplier or contractor is delayed, can't track the schedule and budget accordingly, which again is what this project needs. So this communication goal in our plan is important to have, and it allows the project manager to stay in the know of every part of the project daily and to ensure that the schedule and budget are being followed. It also allows the PM to solve any issues right away and then answer any questions that may arise promptly. Then for our fourth one, we have the project review. So in terms of meetings, and we meet with sponsors and management and the team. So if this was missing or incomplete in our project, that would also open up the doors for a lot of issues to arise. So sponsors and management, they want to know when big milestones in a project occur, and leaving those out or missing some can be problematic, and they could feel like they're not part of this project or not understanding, which can lead to more communication down the road or more emails or more frustration, which you don't want. And with this being implemented into our project plan, it helps the know that the project is moving well and that big phases are being completed and can be celebrated even for the team as well, to know that their work is being done and appreciated. And this communication goal allows everyone to know where the project is at as well. So for our last one, we have project risk that we added in. So our communication goal. So for this one, being left out or incomplete can cause issues for the project, even though we're only meeting as needed. So it involves the project team, management, and the sponsors. So without this or with portions missing, we don't really know any potential risks when they arise. No one is unsure how to mitigate these risks, and not being proactive to prevent these risks from occurring beforehand In the end, every project has risks and they can occur, and without these being clearly laid out for the team can be problematic. So it's good to have at the very start in a project communication plan. This will allow us to know what risks are, what potentially risks we can come across, how to solve them, and what to do when they project that one of these risks could occur, and how to solve it, and how to bring it up, and how to document it. So all of these portions in our communication plan are put in to prevent any issues to arise, and it allows a project to move smoothly and make sure that we keep on track with budget, schedule, and ensure all the people involved, from the team to the stakeholders to the sponsors, are all involved and make it run smoothly. Done.
Well, thank you everybody for your time, and I appreciate you listening to our presentation. You know, we can't stress enough how important a communication plan is to the success of our project. You know, the communication plan is not set in stone. We're going to keep updating this communication plan and make sure it's working for all stakeholders. As well, with that being said, we really want your feedback, so we're going to leave this presentation in our shared location. And we're going to follow up to get feedback from all you stakeholders so that you're all aligned with our goal of our communication plan. So again, thank you for your time. We appreciate it, and have a good day. Thank you.